that a gang sign?
Oh, like you don't know what it is. You don't know what that is.
I have no idea.
You don't know. Jimmy Fallon doesn't know. David Letterman doesn't know.
We don't know.
All the comics and show business don't know what this is. It is the secret symbol of the Illuminati, the all-mocking tongue.
You already know what it is. It's your boy Laid Back with another reaction, another review, another episode. Hey, TikTok, you up to bat. Bow. It's your boy Laid Back. Welcome back to my channel. Hey, two things we got to do. You got to hit that subscribe button. I'm drinking this water. You already know what it is, man. You are the prize in 2025. You are the prize in 2025. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the notification bell. Stay up to date with all the videos. We back with another one. Hey, 2026 slogan. What's popping? I need to see what y'all talking about in the comments, man. 2026 slogan. What you got dropping in the comments. But this is some dark stuff going on in comedy and Hollywood and all this type of stuff. So you make it to the end of this one, you a real one for real. Make sure you put that in the comments. Let's go ahead and get into it. Fire Squad, what's popping? Let's get it. Before we get back into the video, I want to tell you guys a quick and easy way that you can make money just by playing games on your phone. Free Cash is a program that helps games and apps to find new users. So how it works is the companies get paid just from you playing the games. But where Free Cash comes in is they take some of that money and they reroute it to you. Now, this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. You actually have to play the games to actually get the money. So you can either hit the link in my description or you can use the QR code on the screen. Super easy to sign up. All you need is an email and a password. If you use the link, they'll give you $5 immediately to your account, credited to your account by using the link. And it's super easy to withdraw. You can either withdraw through Bitcoin, PayPal, or bank transfer. Super easy. Most people is making like $10 to $20 a day. But if you got some time, you can really lock in. You can see that this game right here is paying $1,020 just to complete it. So it's games out there where you can make some money for real. But you got to lock in and put the time in though. So if you already use your phone to play games and stuff like that, let that phone actually make some money for you too. So make sure you hit that link in the description, hit the QR code, make some easy money, man. Shout out to the squad. Peace.
Proof that Hollywood is evil, part infinity. This next clip is from a Dave Chappelle interview on The Oprah Show. Roll it.
I'm a conspiracy theorist to a degree. Like when I connect dots that maybe shouldn't be connected, I don't know. But certain dots, like when I see that they put every black man in the movies in a dress at some point in their career, I'll be connecting them down like, wow, all these brothers gotta wear a dress. This happened to me. I'm doing a movie with Martin. Yeah. The movie's going good. So I walk in the trailer. I'm like, man, this must be the wrong trailer because there's a dress in here. They come in. It's the writer comes in. I think he's the writer. He's like, Dave, listen, we got this hilarious scene where Martin's sneaking out of jail. So he disguises you as a prostitute. And he put this dress on. And what? The prostitute? Nah, I'm not doing that. I don't feel comfortable with that. That should have been in the discussion. What? You don't feel comfortable with it? I mean, it's a hilarious bit. All the greats have done it.
In that clip that we just watched, he's talking about why he took a hiatus from the industry, because they were trying to get him to do stuff he wasn't comfortable with. The dress thing, many people have hypothesized for years, might be ritualistic and all about humiliation. Ironically enough, some of the biggest stars in the world, here we see Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in a dress. Here we see Kevin Hart doing the same. Here we see it again and again. And these all happen to be some of the most successful actors, entertainers, etc. So it begs the question, what exactly is the reason that Hollywood is so obsessed with this? Wake up.
Do your own research.
This is Jim Carrey, my brothers and sisters. Many of you may know who he is. Well, he just said something that blew my mind. The other day we talked about Will Smith and how he talked about reaching the end of fame, the end of money, the end of intimacy, and how none of it matters anymore. And I told you guys I've never seen anything like that coming from a famous person. Then many of you guys commented Jim Carrey. So I did more research and what I found was mind-blowing. Check out this clip from Jim Carrey.
I've often said that I wished people could realize all their dreams and wealth and fame, and so that they could see that it's not where you're going to find your sense of completion. Like many of you, I was concerned about going out into the world and doing something bigger than myself, until someone smarter than myself made me realize that there is nothing bigger than myself. Because life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. How do I know this? I don't, but I'm making sound, and that's the important thing. That's what I'm here to do. Sometimes I think that's the only thing that's important, really, you know? It's just letting each other know we're here. Reminding each other that we're part of a larger self. Your job is not to figure out how it's going to happen for you, but to open the door in your head. And when the door opens in real life, just walk through it. And don't worry if you miss your cue, because there's always doors opening. They keep opening. And when I say life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you, I really don't know if that's true. I'm just making a conscious choice to perceive challenges as something beneficial so that I can deal with them in the most productive way. You'll come up with your own style. That's part of the fun. Oh, and why not take a chance on faith as well? Not religion, but faith. Not hope, but faith. I don't believe in hope. Hope is a beggar. Hope walks through the fire and faith leaps over it.
So Jim Carrey said, I wish everybody could have everything they want to realize it's not what completes you. He also said, I wish people would take a leap of faith. Not religion, but faith. This is very interesting because a lot of people are chasing things that he has, yet he's saying it won't complete you. Now, if that won't complete you, what will complete you, my brothers and sisters? Well, like I said in the previous video, we all have a soul that has a hole, that has a void, that only the Spirit of God can fulfill, because that is our creator. So without knowing your creator, you're not gonna know what your purpose is. You're not gonna know what you were created for. You're simply gonna be an empty vessel chasing things that are vanity. I pray this is edifying for you, because it's time as a people we get into a space where we actually start knowing what our purpose is. And only then do I believe the world will become a better place. Because when you actually know what your purpose is and who you are, jealousy will stop. Anger will stop. Sadness will stop. To truly know you as an individual are meant to be a child of God and as special as everyone else, no less and no better. That is truly what the Lord wants. May we start realizing that though. Amen. God bless.
Respect.
I first started hanging around comedians is the more funny they are, the less of a persona they had off stage. And it was difficult to actually talk. But then I could understand at the same time, you know, they're overwhelmed and they're inundated with people just talking to them all the time.
Right. So there's a barrier. And like comedians, like literally, there is a depressive aspect to comedians. Like, I mean, generally you would find that. And I like to also explore all of these things when I talk to comedians. Like, I mean, like, are you happy? You know?
Yeah.
Do you feel you're happy? Because I know, and does comedy actually make you happy? You know? Are you here for the money and you just happen to be funny, or does comedy make you happy? There are people who like literally need the comedy. And there are just funny dudes who don't really need it. You know, they're just good at it.
Yeah.
And you find out from reading thousands of books that if you can list the fucked up things that have happened in your life and you can put that on a list, and you somehow made it past all of this, to be in a position where you can still go make some stuff happen, that's what you have in common with every hero of every story, of every autobiography, of every... is how much happened to you that should have broke you, that did not break you, so that you were able to then fucking ride. Amen. Amen.
That's real.
Comedy is tragedy minus dignity. Comedy actually tells the truth more than drama does. If you understand that premise, then in many respects, when you're playing comedy, you don't have to try to be funny. Often the situation already is intrinsically funny. Comedy characters don't know they're in a comedy. In other words, it's not funny for the characters involved. It's often really tragic. Their lives are not going according to plan. It's just often that the way they deal with the situations that they find themselves in either lacks dignity or they are having dignity robbed of them.
We make fun of each other, but we make fun of everyone and everything.
These jokes are rated E for
But we
everyone.
keep it
and
like...
nothing's malicious.
No, nothing's malicious.
Exactly. I think that's the biggest
Exactly.
thing. It's like context fucking matters. It's like,
Yeah.
are you doing
Yeah.
it because you hate people?
No,
Are you doing it because
absolutely
you think
not.
it's funny? Oh,
Yeah,
of course.
You know, we're comedians at the end of the day, at least in what we do, and we're trying to make people laugh. And there are attempts at jokes. None of it's malicious, which is a big thing. And I feel like
context is key.
Context is key, yeah. And I feel like a decent amount of people can discern that.
I don't know who they are.
You don't believe in any conspiracy theory? You just think the government's just batting 1,000 and telling us the whole truth? That's a strong stance to take. Our government is placed in charge of all of its people. I'm a father who's been placed in charge of just one son. And I lie to that nigga all the time.
Oh.
The truth about why Dave Chappelle decided to stop production and flee to South Africa for 2 weeks is finally getting exposed. One of his co-workers and former friends, Jim Brewer, speaks about the shocking detail that Dave Chappelle revealed to him that forced him to flee America and go to South Africa, and that this information appears to be more sinister than just arguments about money payouts, okay? I have a ton of videos that I want to show you guys that's going to dive into exactly what took place between Dave Chappelle and these executives, okay? Let's go ahead and hop into these videos, watch it, and react to it. Before we do me a quick favor. Hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm so that this video can reach more people like yourself. I truly appreciate you guys. Let's go ahead and hop in.
When we were filming a movie, and he also had a lot of pressure from HBO and or not HBO, Comedy Central, and all this shit, right?
The worst bunch of people on earth.
Hard.
Mhm.
He then, while he was on the show, when it was blowing up, and we remember the Aspen Comedy Festival? I don't know if you
Yeah,
remember.
that was fun. I did that too.
He came there, and he was freaked out.
Yeah.
I said, "What's going on?" And all I could say was he was visited.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's what I think too.
And when he told me who visited him,
whoa,
my heart stops for a second. I'm
shit.
like, get the. And I'll never forget. He went, "You believe me, right? You believe me, Jim, right?" And I could. He's like, they came to me, and he said the names. I'm like, get the. And what happened? And then all of a sudden, he went to Africa.
Yeah, that's what I remember happening. But they never really said what happened. Was he threatened? I mean, I don't know how much you want
I don't have.
You can't say.
That's none of my business.
Okay.
But I know for a fact
He was corrected.
he said
correct.
Yeah.
He was, hey, by whoever it was. Hey, we need to have a conversation. Would you like some of your own coffee in your house? Yeah, like that heavy shit. And that's the first time, I would. And so when I saw him come back, there was a lot less communication. And maybe he just, maybe he just grows, whatever. But I can honestly say, and maybe I'm crazy and I am crazy for saying this. When I saw him completely come back, I really questioned if that was him.
Yeah, I know, right? I think that's.
And I know that's really crazy.
I think those same things. Yeah.
Wow.
So Jim Brewer says that Dave Chappelle came to him, freaked out, worried, scared.
Wow.
He said that he was visited by some people and he was corrected. This caused him to have to, or to have a desire to flee out of America and go out of all places to South Africa for 2 weeks. Now, what happened between those 2 weeks is up for question. But there's a lot of people that believe that why he fled from America, why he fled and left America.
Visited.
Woo! My man Corey Holcomb is like a Geno Jennings in the secular world, I tell you, because he is hot on level 100. And I'm gonna show y'all why he upset with Cam Newton. Hey Cam, is it true what Corey said?
I got something to say about that. Somebody say up there, the mark of the beast, Corey. You got to know, when I was doing that, I didn't know that. I saw a clip the other day of a brother on Cam Newton's show. Darlene got the picture of the brother. His name is Jason Williams. Wilson, I'm sorry, Jason Wilson. And I saw Cam get him to try to do that. And when he saw what Cam was doing, he said, no, I ain't with that. And he explained what that is. The symbolism behind it.
This is the sign that Corey Holcomb talking about. And this is Jason Wilson, who he talking about also.
Didn't he actually go along too and say it? Like I'll say, he said he participated in like a portion. In other words, but he wouldn't do that.
He wouldn't do that sign.
Right.
I want this to be said. I am very hurt and embarrassed about my ignorance to what that was. I didn't know that's what that was. Even though I've seen something like that before, I just wasn't used to doing nothing like that. I had good intentions by the show. Just like if I had somebody come up here, I would want them to have good intentions by this show. But I was devastated when I watched that Brother Wilson, break down what it was. I was like, I think I did that. And when me and my people checked, I was like, God damn, Cam, that's Eve in the Garden of Eden type of behavior, dog. You fuck with the devil and then try to get your people to with the devil. Don't do people like that, Cam.
Whoa.
I'm a little older than you. I'm telling you, don't lead your people to the pits of hell because you up with it. You know what that was. And you got me to do it. I'm not playing victim. I hope what happens serves as a lesson to others that, that's them motherfuckers that's down with that lifestyle, trying to be slick and get other people to put up that symbol like that. Because that's what I believe it is. Because I know how Hollywood picks its players, and I know what's going on. Just trust me, I know what's going on. And for you to do that, brother, is very disappointing. Don't be slick with your peoples, man. See, I was in awe of Cam Newton. Cam Newton was one of the baddest to ever play the game, if you ask me. What he did down there at Auburn was nothing short of stupendous. And when I met Cam, I was like, man, gee, all that. But now, I ain't gonna lie, Cam, come on, bro. See, one day it was a teammate of yours, and he wouldn't even speak to you no more. He was a wide receiver. He was a tall kid. Y'all used to throw the alley-oops to him. That's what you call. And when you was trying to talk to him one day, he was just like, no. And I never, what happened between them where he wouldn't even speak to Cam? He wouldn't even speak to him. That's whole shit, homie. Don't do your brothers like that. That's whole shit, man. That's baby mom. Setting motherfuckers up to look stupid in front of people. Don't do that, brother. Don't try to get nobody to do that sucker symbolism. It ain't living like that, man, because some of us out here trying to make the best of what we got, and we don't want to be up with that booty shit. That's shit, homie. And I'm a motherfucker who still got his ear to the street enough to know a lot of things. And everything I knew, when I say I know, it's because I know people in the streets, and they ain't scared to talk about it.
First of all, the actual truth of this matter is every city that I go to, I already have the comedians who are opening up for me. Not just this tour, but for the 17 100 city tours previous to this. I never go to the city and go, hey, do you guys have some comics here? I'd like to add them to my show. I just don't do it. I travel with the comedians that are coming to your city. We're one unit and one team when we come. That is to let you understand that no comic was fin to come join us that evening because there isn't space for it. I still have to do an hour at the end of this. There's a limited amount of time. So we could just start there. Second of all, I don't care where you're from, what the venue is, how cool you are with the people that work there. Cat Williams show means Cat Williams show. That means don't nothing move but the money.
Is that a gang sign?
Oh, like you don't know what it is. You don't know what that is.
I have no idea.
You don't know. Jimmy Fallon doesn't know. David Letterman doesn't know.
We don't know.
All the comics and show business don't know what this is. It is the secret symbol of the Illuminati, the all-mocking tongue. For years now, talk show hosts, people on television, people in sitcoms have been hired by the government to distract you, to make you laugh and stuff like that, make you happy and docile so you don't know what's really going on. Look at him trying to go with that. It's hilarious. Hilarious. You know what they're trying to do? Who? They're trying to turn us into, consumer drones of some sort. I just got to get this.
That's real.
I'm sorry, Jimmy. I was temporarily interrupted by my iPhone 6 Plus. Ha 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 ha.
Jim Carrey be saying some real shit though.
A lot of people don't understand that having dark humor is a sign of intelligence. Do y'all realize the average person does not like dark humor? And the average person has an average IQ level. First of all, comedy in and of itself requires intelligence, let alone dark comedy. The ability to take the morbid, the taboo, the tragic, the depressing, and make it funny, make a joke out of it, that's high IQ level shit. Most people don't like dark humor because they see it as inappropriate. But that's the thing about people who enjoy dark humor. You've seen too much, you've heard too much, and you've learned to cope with humor. Think about Rick from Rick and Morty. That's dark humor. Rick's dark humor skills are fucking immaculate. Rick knows too much shit. He has seen so much shit. He makes dark humor out of damn near anything. Because what the average person fails to realize is death happens every day. Tragic shit happens every day. People are killed by earthquakes, hurricanes, volcanoes, tornadoes every day. I think the main reason a lot of people find dark humor so distasteful is because of their emotional attachment to things. Like, I get it. If your mom got cancer, your child got cancer, you don't want somebody making cancer jokes. I understand that. I'm not a narcissist. I'm not a sociopathic dickhead. I have empathy. I can understand that. I have had people in my life with cancer, so I can understand that. But when your intelligence reaches a certain level and you've come to terms with the absurdity of life, dark humor is just the way to go.
What y'all think about that in the comments?
Because it's two faces to comedy, is having a tragedy. So, in two, my sister passed.
Sorry to hear that, my brother.
And, well, it's late now.
I didn't know, man.
Nobody been dead over 20 years. I'm sorry. It's over 20 years. My dad was.
I haven't seen you in a long time.
You know how many people died since that?
We didn't rack them up since my sister.
We done racked them up. Hey, yo.
I was like, I got about 7 more you can say.
Hey, man, I can run them off. Man. After my sister, it was my son. Then it was my grandmother. Yeah, it was, we've had some hard ones, man.
Damn. Yeah.
And so that's
sorry
why
to hear about all of them, brother.
That's why I did Lost, because that's one of the number one things in the black community that, man, death runs through our family a little harder than just the loss. It's like now you got to figure out how to bury them and
that's right.
And all this. I think about death every single day. So I live a better life than most people because I know I don't have the time to be engaged in things that really I can't rectify. I'm not gonna hold a grudge behind something when I can get an apology or I can apologize. I like my whole intent to come up here was because I was mad at you.
What'd I do?
Man, you were saying my name wrong and you did it twice too. You know what I'm saying? Allie. I'm like, man, this man know how to say my name.
Allie, what did he say wrong?
Allie. You
Ali?
talking about my special with somebody. Yeah, I think his name Allie. And I'm like, and they sent it to me and it was on the break. I'm like, he knows how to say Ali. He knows.
No, because I kept hearing other people say Ali Sadiq.
I don't know why you was listening to other people. You better than that, Charlamagne. I
say A-L-I.
I say somebody call up there and ask him who his favorite boxer is. It's probably Muhammad Ali. He's going to say Ali. Just take the Muhammad out.
Because when the first special came out, everybody I knew was talking about that special. Yeah. Especially in the comedy world. It was like, yo, you got to watch this dude Ali Sadiq.
Ain't nobody say that to him. Nobody say you got to watch this dude Ali Sadiq. But no, he know a lot of real common connoisseurs. Ain't nobody say Alice to me.
Nobody said that. I don't even know Charlamagne. I'm like, Charlamagne don't like me. when I finally get to the breakfast, I'm leading with, hey man, why you saying my name wrong? But then I forget, then I left it alone.
Right, it's like, whatever.
Man, whatever. At least he mentioned me.
I bet you didn't know that one of the biggest comedians and actors that played in some of your favorite shows was murdered. Phil Hartman was known for creating Pee-wee Playhouse, he was part of Saturday Night Live, and voiced a few characters in The Simpsons. And Vice TV has put together season 2 of Dark Side of Comedy, which tells the story of one of the most loved comedians and actors in Hollywood. Phil had a rough childhood growing up, but that did not stop him from making people laugh and reaching so much success in his life. He was deeply loved by so many, especially the people who worked on set with him. But unfortunately, Phil's life began crumbling after his 3rd marriage, and everyone close to him began noticing. Vice TV put together an amazing glimpse of Phil's life from the beginning to when he was murdered by his wife. You can watch a new episode of Dark Side of Comedy on Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern on Vice TV.
Who else remembers that time Joe Rogan destroyed a comedian's career? In 2007, while Carlos Mencia was performing at the Comedy Store, Joe Rogan climbed on stage and confronted Mencia about stealing jokes from other comedians. At the time of the incident, Carlos Mencia was doing pretty well for himself. His show, Mind of Mencia, was in its 3rd season on Comedy Central, and at the same time, he was doing the late-night talk show circuit, where he was a guest on all of the big names. He had stand-up performances booked all over the country and had filmed multiple hour-long stand-up specials that sold pretty well on DVD. Prior to Joe Rogan calling him out, it was pretty well known in the comedy scene that Carlos Mencia was notorious for stealing other comics' material. But for the most part, the general public had no idea. Things looked really bad for Mencia on stage when Joe Rogan brought other comedians onto that stage who Carlos Mencia had literally stolen material from. And after the confrontation went viral, people started going through Carlos Mencia's catalog and piecing together jokes that he did in fact steal from other comedians and had been doing it for years. The fallout that occurred after the incident was catastrophic for Mencia's career. South Park even got on board.
And it's true, I stole it, man. I took credit for it because I'm not actually funny.
Then Mind of Mencia only survived for one more season after being canceled because the ratings were so bad. Nobody wanted to book Mencia to perform. Nobody was inviting him to be guests on their talk shows or radio broadcasts. And if they did, all they wanted to do was talk about him stealing jokes or the incident with Joe Rogan. So it's safe to say that Joe Rogan had a very strong hand in ruining Mencia's career. But the responsibility as to why it happened in the first place ultimately falls on Carlos Mencia. Check this out.
I'm somebody important enough that he had to end the show by saying Carlos been stealing. That's who I am.
If someone steals a riff from a song, that shit's in the news constantly. Steal shit and make it on HBO. They steal shit, they put it on television.
It's easy to say you steal shit. I could say you steal shit, but I don't, because I'm not a little
Go from Bobby Lee.
Let me tell you.
The video on the internet of him admitting it.
That's bull. He says that because he's like everybody else. They're jealous because... Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
I'm jealous of anybody. It's not going to be a guy who steals material. It is Red Wholeness.
Is that my real name?
Carlos Mencia. That's a fake name.
Damn, Joe Rogan went crazy on Buddy.
Theo Vaughn recently. What happened to Theo Vaughn? Yo, his New York show, people were saying that like he was going to the back because he forgot like his punchlines. He would start a story. This was his Netflix special, remember?
Oh my god.
Yeah, and then he was like going back mid-story.
Oh, what is it again?
Let me go back.
Oh my god,
And then there's a video of him at the end when he's meeting all his fans. He says, oh guys, I'm just trying to get this pic. I'm trying not off myself right now.
I don't know what to tell you about that, man. I'm having a long month. I'm trying not to take my own life.
Damn. But you know, he probably just had a bad night. It's one of those.
Yeah, he went on his podcast the other day.
And what he said?
And he was like, I've been on off antidepressants because whenever I want to talk to a crowd, I want more feeling and emotion with them. But he's like, it didn't really work out like that because I just like got like the feeling back.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, that's my goal, fam. Like, what am I? You know what I mean? I watch every day, talk about real problems. It doesn't feel real. It's like, yo, that's superhero, fam. That's Spider-Man game. He's not supposed to be talking about mental health, fam. Like, talk about saving girls.
I know,
fam.
but that's the reality of it, right?
Is,
like,
yeah.
everybody sees the highlights of something,
Right.
but when you can see the other side to it and the realness of it, you get the whole character.
Yeah.
Artie is such a respected comedian in the business, but when the drug use started to weave itself into his vernacular, it was like watching a train wreck, you know, in slow motion. People would call him constantly, what the f is wrong with Artie?
You know, he was very obviously descending into the abyss of his addiction. You know, he was moody, irregular. He basically threatened his assistant and physically went after him.
And when you have something that's creating great content for a show like that, do you let it go, or do you throw the guy into rehab where he should be, or do you just let him live his life?
For me, I felt it was exploitative.
Damn.
Look, I love you very much, and I was trying to reach out, because the last thing you want is a friend that maybe is going through some shit, not doing well, and maybe you could have reached out and you didn't.
Yeah,
You know,
for sure.
That feeling, it's a terrible feeling.
Yeah.
You know, that you could have helped your friend and you didn't help your friend. You know, but you have a hard time expressing yourself in person sometimes. You know, like sometimes I'd be asking, like tell me what's up. Tell me what's bothering you. You know, tell me, like, how do you feel? What'd you do? And there's like a thing where it's almost like a blockade where you'd rather just like ignore it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then when you're talking publicly, you like to address everything, which I find very interesting. It's like you almost feel more comfortable exposing various parts of things that you don't like about life or your life or what's bothering you about life. Publicly, you're better at doing that than you are privately with your friends.
That's deep.
Did you hear Damon Wayans say that he would never do stand-up anymore because he was like, people are too sensitive?
No, he said people are stupid.
Well, yeah. He said people are stupid dumb. Basically, he says anything, people get offended too fast, and it's like, it's just not worth the stress.
I understand. I mean, I don't see it the same way because I don't have that level of give a fuck of, I don't want to do the thing that I love to do because I'm caring so much about what everybody else is thinking about what I'm doing. Like,
I think he meant that on how the Wayans used to be. Like, they, no limit. Like, you talk about anything. But now, that since the new trend is being offended and a lot of people are just,
It is what it is, though.
That's a fact.
Something I think not a lot of people realize is how smart you have to be in order to be funny. Like, if you're somebody that can make people laugh on purpose, odds are your IQ is way above average. I'm being so serious. Because being able to anticipate what's going to make your audience laugh requires such a sophisticated understanding of patterns, psychology, language, the timing, and like how you're saying things. Saying very unexpected things that's going to throw people off. There's just so many things you have to understand about human behavior and perception in order to be funny on purpose. Being funny on accident is not the same thing. Like, if you make people laugh without really meaning to, that's a very different thing. But like, take Theo Vaughn, for example. When you hear him talk, you may think he sounds like an idiot, but in all actuality, he knows exactly what to say to make people laugh, and he does it in a way that comes off so nonchalant, which is, oh my God, it's just such a crazy skill. Like, his jokes just come off as his personality. Like, you're like, oh my God, Theo, like, so you're being crazy. But that, again, requires so much intelligence on his part, just crazy. So if you're the funny friend in your friend group, you're smart as hell. You're welcome.
Oh, well, thank you. I didn't know that.
I shouldn't have, honestly. Like, some of these things are the reason that the enemy decides to go ahead and let you be famous, is your ability to tear down your own kind, no matter how high they are. On the other hand, my job is to be funny first and to voice the opinion of a group that doesn't get to have their opinion out there, right? So as a black man, If you don't love yourself, you don't love me. So those were the jokes of a guy that was hurt, you know, by an icon. And so I was telling those jokes. The fact that years later, Janet Jackson says she still loved me despite the jokes that I told about her brother is probably one of the most magnificent things, you know? Just because I say a lot of hilarious shit, but it costs me every time, you know? Like I'm never unscathed in these situations.
That's real. That is real. That is funny. Mike Epps, a legend.
People are a lot more sensitive today. They take comedy way too serious. You gotta remember, comedy is an outlet. Comedy heals, you know, sickness. And some people take certain jokes and certain things so serious that they forget the laughter and the humor in it all and what it's meant to do and do for you.
Whoa, whew. Piece of delivery for robbery, homicide.
I just think you have to have it in your life, because on the other side of pain is comedy.
Do the move that you do.
And like I said, if you don't like them, you don't have to watch them.
What the problem is.
That's a fact. Martin is a legend too.
From a guy, he said his wife passed away, and he still came to the show tonight. Is he here?
Damn.
That's you? When's the funeral?
We have a celebration of life on August 9th.
How much is the funeral?
It cost me, I think, like $1,600 for the cremation and everything.
All right. I'll go ahead and cover it for you.
Wow.
You want cash? You want charge? You got the tattoo? Where's the tattoo at?
Right there.
That's solid. That's your wife?
That's my wife, yeah. 18 years. Yeah. We got 2 girls, 13 and 16.
Damn.
Oh, okay. So is this $1,600, that's it?
That's just what it costs for this, just for the cremation and the urn and everything like that. Yeah.
Anything else?
And everything helps.
All right. I got
I
you.
took a month off of work just to be with the girls and all that. So.
Okay. I'll make sure you're good. I'll cover you.
Thank you, man.
Yeah. You the one that knew me or you knew me? Oh, yeah. All right, we got you. Just stay after the show, all right? All right. Okay, please don't fuck this up. That was a great moment. You're not drag or can drag. Please don't fuck it up.
That was dope. Respect.
You know, I just want to warn people.
Could I see that?
Well, in a second, because I just want to, you know, I want to tell people that if you go to a newsstand and you read about me in these rags, you know, 90% of what you're reading is absolute garbage. It's total fabrication.
A lot of people think that, you know, I'm kind of going through something, but it's been my whole life, you know, and they go like, well, it's a reaction to depression. He's dealt with depression his whole life, and there's no hint of depression.
If you're a naturally funny person, you have to let the intrusive thoughts win. Comics build for minimum a year, 2, 3 years to build an hour-long show, right? I would feel like a total piece of shit if I let you pay money to come see the exact same material you just saw for free online.
So that's why you've been making the specials on YouTube out of crowd work.
I only post my crowd work because I don't feel like burning through material. I was getting popular for doing red flag crowd work just on TikTok, and it got so bad to the point where I'd be in the middle of working on material, and people would just be yelling out like, do red flags, or just yelling out like, flip-flops. Now I don't do it anymore.
Why did you close it, and why were you happy to close it?
Because it does ruin the show when people yell out. I wanted to go, okay, I know you like this thing I do, so here's that. Now you have that final product. I did this specifically for you guys. Now let me grow to do the kind of comedy I want to do.
They don't really feel it as much as you do.
No, they don't know. And there should be a meter that they see that lets
a live
you know.
meter.
Yeah.
How I feel about this shit right now. And it's just jumping up and down. Yeah. And they can honestly, they can tell you're like, look, I'm feeling, this is like a 4.5 right now. It was a 6 in Des Moines, but now I don't know.
Bro, that's the worst when you get in your head about, because after the first one, you're like, now what do I change? Anytime you get to like you're standing at the finish line kind of, and you're like, what do I adjust? But you've been around the whole track with all these jokes. Oh, dude.
It's hard. You know what? Sometimes it feels like, especially when a joke you think was really good. You know how some NFL players get in trouble because they drop the ball before they cross the goal line? I feel like I was doing that a little bit because I wasn't committing to the joke because I was unsure of the way that a tag came in or the punchline snapped. And then so I started to doubt myself. But that's so natural because TV cameras are up. So your brain does a thing that it doesn't do live. Live, you fly so free, it doesn't matter. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's me, dropping the ball before I get in the end zone. But I did it on like 2 or 3 jokes. And then the last taping, Zach kind of reinstilled some confidence in me and was like, dude, just cut it out.
That was nice of him to say that.
Yeah, he helped me out a lot. I think if you don't have people with you in your team of whether it's features or hosts or friends or producers or directors or whoever to kind of give you that extra, dude, you're good. It gets hard. And sometimes there's too many cooks. Sometimes you're like, I know how to make this meal, man. You got to leave me alone.
Yeah.
But when you need it, you need it. I think the more open we are to the audiences about that, the better off it is because the criticism is higher than it's ever been for specials and for tapings. I mean, and I think when you come clean about what it is, what affected you, and the reality of it, the more loving they get around it because this is it's just a difficult task.
The scariest thing I've ever seen up there. One night at 2 in.the morning, I was hanging out there. Okay. And they go, you can hang out here, but upstairs they're doing something, but you cannot go up there in the belly room. I go, it's closed. Who gives a fuck? He's like, there's something going up there. Do not go up there. But I went up there. The back entrance, up the black. I opened up that back thing, right? It's pitch black in there, but I see candles, right? I swear to God, I saw this. 15 people wearing hoods and purple cloaks. Okay? And they're chanting. Right? And then, so I go back downstairs and I wait to see. They come down after the seance. You know who I saw? One of them was Lily Tomlin. Okay? The second one was Bob Zamuda. You know Bob Zamuda?
Never heard or seen this guy before.
And they were seancing Andy Kaufman's ghost.
What?
Did it work? I don't know. I didn't stay up there long enough to know. But what I'm saying is that there's something about that belly room that is a portal of something. In the night there, you can hear babies crying upstairs.
What? That's crazy.
Across the span of over 40 years, Richard Pryor got married 7 times to 5 different women. 2 of them he married twice. 2 things can certainly be true about Richard Pryor. He opened the doors for so many black comedians, but he also lived a really tumultuous life and dealt with so many personal issues. From substance abuse and several relationship issues, there was no denying that he certainly was battling several internal demons. And for those who aren't familiar, Richard Pryor is a comedy giant that was born in 1940 and really hit the ground running on the comedy scene in the 1960s. He is known for having a profound impact on several black comedians, including the late Paul Mooney, who appeared on The Dave Chappelle Show, Eddie Murphy, Chris Rock, and also Steve Harvey, who was very vocal, especially on his daytime talk show, about just how much of an impact that Richard Pryor had on his career. And he even shared this post on Facebook back in 2016, saying that he keeps this photo of he and Richard Pryor in his office, calling him the funniest person, and also saying that it reminds him of just why he does what he does every single day. But there is no denying that Richard Pryor was battling so many issues internally after growing up with a violent family. His mother was in a brothel, and it's something that Richard Pryor was very open about, and his father was a pimp. And prior to his death in 2005, at the age of 65, he had not only battled with substance abuse and also, again, several issues in his relationship, several women saying that he was abusive, but also severe depression as well.
What I'm trying to do is be like, this thing, like, what we have become, I think is a problem. Like, as comedians, and what we mean to people, and what we and how we like structure our careers around that thing. I think that people are playing games right now that are gonna bite them eventually, where you play with people who are struggling, you play with people who are like based on like even no fault of their own, but a systemic level, they are mentally unstable. You play with people whose only hope is something that is like, you know, in the ether as a conspiracy.
Yeah.
You play with all that, you make your money, and then you think you go home. But especially if you're chasing money, especially if you like money, and especially if you can't stay at home, you keep doing it and you keep doing it and you keep doing it. And then you become a different thing to them than you can ever get back. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, wow.
And so like, I think if I stay as much of a stand-up as I can, and obviously sometimes I talk about politics, but my thing is that I talk about everything. So the people who think that I talk about one thing, I can tell what videos they've watched. I've been told by people that I only talk about black culture. Then I've been told by other people I only talk about Trump. Then I've been told about from other people that I do like regular jokes again.
Yeah.
Then I am told by people that they're like, I love your stories. I love this story, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't think, and this is, I'm not upset about it or whatever, but I don't think that people are fitting into the picture that I am trying to, and as a result, talking about everything.
The dark reality of comedy is knowing that so many comedians deal with mental health issues and substance abuse. And it's so interesting because in an industry where these creatives are known for making us laugh and telling jokes, is also an industry where so many comedians are masking some of the terrible and troubled things that are going on in their personal life. And in my opinion, the story of Artie Lang is one that is so inspiring because it shows that you can ultimately make it out. And for those who aren't familiar with Artie Lang, he's a comedian that grew up in New Jersey, and he made his comedic stand-up debut in the 80s before appearing on Mad TV, Saturday Night Live, and also known as Howard Stern's sidekick in the early 2000s. For Artie Lang, it all came crashing down after years of substance abuse, and even many celebrities and other comedians pleading for him to get the necessary help that he needed. In fact, many of them shared their pleas online, simply asking for him to give it up, to live, asking for Artie to just be clean so that he does not lose his life like several others have to substance abuse. Experts have even spoken out about how comedians are at risk for mental health issues. And in this ABC News article, one expert actually says that being funny is not the same thing as being happy, and that many comedians use humor as a way to escape depression and anxiety. Wow. And we've seen it with several high-profile comedians like Robin Williams, and we've even seen it with Richard Pryor, who opened the doors for many Black comedians, but lived a troubled and a complicated life. Dark Side of Comedy Season 1 is already available on Vice TV, episodes on Artie Lang, Richard Pryor, and more. And save the date for new episodes of Dark Side of Comedy that are coming out in exactly 1 month on October 17th at 10 p.m. Eastern. On Vice TV, we have episodes on Robin Williams. We're diving into his background, his past, Joan Rivers, Tracy Morgan, Ellen DeGeneres, and several others.
About you. Didn't you once audition for a Chris Rock movie and you showed up with a real gun?
Yeah, dog, CB4.
Yeah, CB4. What happened there?
That was my cousin Ray Ray's 9mm. I was able to, just draw on some past experiences at that moment, right, which effectively horrified everybody in the room. My very first show, a woman said, "Hey, you can't talk like that around here." I was like, "Really?" And I walked in here and said, "Comedy club above the door in that tabernacle." So
Charlie Murphy was the most feared comedian in Hollywood. Not because of his punchlines, but because of the violence that lived beneath his laughter. Roosevelt, Long Island knew him as Lil Boss of the King Python Gang. Nassau County Jail knew him as inmate 447821.
Were you in trouble with the law?
Quite a bit, yes.
Were you ever in prison, though?
Nassau County Jail was as far as it went for me.
Hollywood would learn to fear him as the man who brought real danger to a world of pretend tough guys.
Oh, snap.
The same hands that wrote jokes had once held guns.
My favorite memory of being a bodyguard was probably whipping somebody's ass. I don't know. That's the best part of the job.
When Charlie Murphy walked into comedy clubs, everyone could sense this wasn't just another entertainer. This was a genuine street soldier who happened to be funny. So let's get into it. Brooklyn's Bushwick neighborhood in the 1960s didn't raise comedians. It manufactured predators.
Damn.
Charlie Murphy learned survival before he learned to walk, growing up in tenements where gunshots were lullabies and police sirens were morning alarms. His father, Charles Edward Murphy, worked as a transit cop while trying to make it as a comedian. But those dreams died with him when a jealous girlfriend's knife found his heart in 1969.
Damn.
You know, when I was 10 years old, my father was murdered.
Right.
Okay? And I didn't realize it, but I guess it had an effect on me. I became, you know, angry or whatever.
10-year-old Charlie watched his family disintegrate overnight.
Wow.
His mother, Lillian, devastated by loss and overwhelmed by poverty, couldn't handle 2 boys alone. When tuberculosis sent her to the hospital, Charlie and his baby brother Eddie were dumped into foster care like unwanted cargo. The system that was supposed to protect them became their first taste of institutional brutality. The foster mother who took them in saw dollar signs, not children. She collected government checks while rationing food and administering beatings with mechanical precision.
Wow.
Charlie became Eddie's shield against the daily violence. Every punch he absorbed, every humiliation he endured, was currency spent to protect his little brother. The math was simple.
Damn.
The last year and a half, I've been doing 40 to 50 shows a month.
Oh my God,
Jesus
dude.
Christ. Yeah, it's been.
Do you owe the mafia a bunch of money?
Yeah, what is going on? What are you doing?
Gambling problem?
I thought I could handle it. I really thought I could do.
I promise you can't.
Apparently I couldn't.
Yeah.
When I had to take these 2 weeks off from shows, it was fucking brutal. I never thought I was gonna have to do that, but I was just like, I cannot possibly fucking perform.
Yeah.
And it was because I was on a tour bus for 9 months.
Wow.
So every day was Groundhog Day, right? I would perform till 2 o'clock in the morning, stay awake till 5 or 6, then try to go to bed. Couldn't sleep, so I'd sleep till like 2 p.m.
Wow.
I'd stay on the bus, which was wrapped, so basically blacked out, until like 4 p.m., just meetings, writing, whatever. I'd go outside. I'd see the sunlight for like 2 minutes a day, walking to the gym and walking back, and then I'd do the shows and repeat. So when I had to come back here and take all these doctor's appointments, they were like, oh, dude, on top of you have like severe insomnia and like really bad anxiety. I don't know if you've ever talked to anybody about this before, but it's not even that you have a bad circadian rhythm. You don't even.
Everybody's not the same. So that's why when I said that, nobody came out and went, that's not true. I'm on God's side. Like, none of them. I'm just... The conversation was to show that there are spiritual things going on in the world, and that there are things that are bigger than just coincidence, and that a ritual is something that you do over and over and over again a certain way. You see what I'm saying? If part of the ritual is wearing a dress, then we should be able to look through entertainment and see all of these people being made to wear a dress. That's what a ritual is. You know what I mean? Like, whether they're white or black, that doesn't matter. There's not other jobs where this is a requirement. Why is this?
Yeah.
Why is this so necessary?
Yeah, you don't see the dog catcher show up every other year.
Like, it's not a thing.
In a nice skirt. You don't see an electrician.
Right. So
come up in a blouse every now and then.
All right, guys, that was another TikTok compilation, man. That was on comedians, the dark side of humor, it's a lot of stuff going on. They say they deal with a lot of depression, a lot of mental health situations. So I thought this would be very interesting just to get into the minds of the comedians and see what they go through, whether it's the good or the bad. And I think it was sprinkled in a little both of that. But you let me know in the comments, who was your favorite comedian ever? Let me know in the comments. But hey, you made it this far, you a real one for real. Make sure you put that in the comments. Till next time, self-love and positivity. Fire Squad, I got you and you know it.